This thing gives you an incredible amount of torque in 6th gear. TG MotoRider, reviewing my Triumph Thunderbird 1600cc parallel twin, 800 cc's in each jug, fuel injected, liquid cooled, 6-speed, belt drive, 85 horses, 107 foot-pounds of torque. ABS on the front and back. You got a dual piston Brembo on the back. And you got 2 calipers on the front, 1 on each rotor, twin piston each, plenty of stopping power. The forks are not inverted actually, which I would think on a cruiser like this, it's weighing 750 pounds, they may have inverted the forks, but they didn't do that. Look at the classic look. It's got a 200mm rear tire, helps you kind of launch. The 120 on the front actually does help you dive this into the corners. Because in the corners you are fighting that rear tire a little bit. I'll be honest with you, this bike is redonkulously fast. By the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes. The ABS is awesome. This came stock with a set of Metzlers, which I have to tell you, I love Metzlers. So you got 4.7 inches of travel in the front fork. You get 3.7, I think, in the rear shocks. You've got the 5 presets, dual shocks on the back. On the highway, this is not the softest ride you'll ever have in your life. My VTX is a 5.1 inch travel in the front, so it's a little softer. My V-Strom adventure bike is a 6 inch travel. That is way better. But where this makes up for it is right here. And just like that, you're at 60. It really doesn't take very long at all. Alright, so the Triumph Thunderbird on the highway. Effortless, low rumble, 6th gear. The 6th gear on this bike is not some token overdrive they give you to settle the bike down. The 6th gear in this bike is actually a necessary requirement in the long succession of you getting to your top speed. And when you hammer it in 6th, you have an enormous amount of torque. You don't even really have to downshift to 5th. This thing gives you an incredible amount of torque in 6th gear. So much, in fact, you really don't have to do a lot. You don't have to do barely any downshifting. It's got heated grips. Got red and green. Green meaning warm, red meaning hot. Today it's kind of cold, it's in the 40s. I put it on green. I got Cortex Scarabs on. You know, it's kind of nice. Alright, love. We gave you some hand warmers to warm your hands from the chilly English cold. Now, they give you a 5.8 gallon tank, but believe me, you're going to need it. Because I've been getting about 30 miles per gallon in this thing. Now, granted, I've not been riding it like a gentleman. I have been torquing it pretty good. But you're going to get about, you know, if you ride it like a gentleman, you can get 40, I guess, if you behave yourself. But there really is not much about this bike that says, behave yourself. It's a wonderful, effortless rider. It's a very short bike though. I feel like it cuts right off here. Now this one gave me a backrest for the rider, for the driver. You kind of need a backrest for the driver because when you hammer the throttle on this, if you're going to do that, it's going to throw you back. You're going to go back against the backrest. You know, it's not like a sport bike where you're in that position, your whole body sustaining that with your weight lean forward into it. This one, you're kind of in the shape of a C. So when you pound the throttle, it throws you back into the seat. So I thought I'd take my Triumph into the English countryside It puts you in Monty Python mode while you're going quick. The arm's off. No, it isn't. What's that then? I've had worse. You liar! Come on, you pansy! A Triumph made in jolly old England! And I gotta tell you, I'm in absolute love with this bike, man. I know I say that about every bike I buy. I'm kind of a fan of motorcycles, so it's very hard for me to be hypercritical, but you gotta take it for what it is. Is this a cruiser wanting to be a speed demon, or is it a speed demon disguised as a cruiser? I know that there's not a lot of room for the passenger on that little back seat they gave me, so it's sort of an afterthought. It's a short bike, it doesn't have a long wheelbase. Somebody killed one of His Majesty's deer. There will be hell to pay in the villages for this. When we find who is guilty of poaching the king's deer, heads will roll. Excuse me, sir, I believe it was hit by a car. Off with his head! That's my review of the Triumph Thunderbird 2010 1600cc 85 horsepower 107 foot-pound of torque belt-driven 6-speed monster. TG MotoRider signing off with a smile on my face.